Welcome to Tales While Cooking, where something is always simmering in the pot and in the story. Hi everyone, I'm Nikita Joseph, and on this channel, we cook while getting lost in stories. In today's episode, we are going to be making some creamy, delicious chicken Malai kebabs, which is a favorite in North India and also in the Middle East. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's cook while we unravel some stories. My first story for the day is from the Reddit user who unfortunately deleted their account. So, as we're going to do some crime stories, let's start with the first one. I grew up in a funeral home. I helped out in the office when I was about 15. We got a call from a man whose wife and infant baby had been murdered in cold blood. There were very few clues. It made headlines. Cops set up surveillance at the viewing. It was heartbreaking as the mother was holding the baby in her arms. I was asked to take the flower cards and periodically get the husband and ask if he recognized the names. I then photocopied them and put them back. I did it because I was a kid. People knew me and I was unobtrusive. I talked to the husband quite a bit. He seemed devastated and shaken. The cops told me that he had an eyewitness to someone leaving the house the day of the murder. The witness was a 3-year-old girl. She recognized the man leaving. It was the husband's best friend. Turns out that the friend and the husband had made a pact to kill each other's families and run off with their secretaries. Okay, that was quite a twist. I did not expect that at all. Did you guys expect that? Crazy. They both went to jail on multiple accounts, all on the testimony of a 3-year-old. I still cannot believe to this day that the man stood right beside me multiple times and I had no clue. I don't think I ever looked at life the same way after that. I mean, neither would I. You cannot expect what is going on in anybody's head nowadays. Oh my God, this is like crazy, guys. Honestly, very crazy. All right, my second story is from the Reddit user, Sai Gunslinger. Seems interesting. James Bulger, he was just 2 years old, and with his mom running errands, she let go of his hand to pay the cashier and he wandered away. 2 10-year-old boys spotted him, lured him towards them, took him by the hands and led him away. They took him to a remote location, pushing and kicking at him the whole time. Some people questioned the 2 kids with the crying toddler, but they lied saying he was their brother, and nobody intervened further. They took him to a secluded spot and tortured him. I don't want to recount the torture details, it's just too gruesome. They left his body on some railroad tracks, hoping that being run over by a train would make it look like it was an accident. He was found days later, his body severed in half by a train. My God. The boys were caught and became the youngest convicted murderers in British history. That is crazy. 2 10-year-old boys? Security footage from the day they took James shows them watching children, picking out a target, and they were just kids themselves. They were released at 18. One of them is back in jail for possessing child abuse photos on his computer. Oh my God, didn't you ever learn what is it to be in prison? Crazy. The most terrifying thing about this for me is that my own son is only 2 now. And James' murderers were just children too. It was premeditated and intentional and entirely random. Just a momentary lapse in attention, and he became a target of two murderous children. Children! To think that children younger than my stepson are capable of such a thing. Ugh! Everything about this case is just horrifying. I mean, what the hell? You can't even trust kids around you? Oh my god. But parents, always have a look on your kids. If you have any. Oh my god, this is terrifying. And I'm so sad that what the mother would have been going through. Oh no, her child was just 2. And to be murdered by 2 10-year-olds? That is the worst. Oh my god. Oh. Third time's the charm. And my third story for the day is from the Reddit user Mordenti. Everything to do with Hajj Mohammad Mesfevi. I'm sorry if I have pronounced the name in the wrong way. Forgive me, guys. He was a shoemaker who lived in Morocco in the late 19th and 18th century. He and his accomplice, a 70-year-old woman called Anna, used to drug and kill young women who came to the shop. Oh my god. Eventually, one of the victim's parents traced her movements to the shop, and after the remains of the 36 mutilated corpses were discovered nearby, Mesfevi and Anna were questioned and tortured. Anna didn't survive, but Mesfevi confessed to murdering them. Usually for a tiny amount of money, his initial sentence was crucifixion. A very unusual punishment even then. However, there were many protests from powerful foreign embassies, and Morocco couldn't do much against them. Instead, he was sentenced to beheading, a more common punishment. However, the mood in Marrakech was that this was far too lenient. So they settled on immurement, being walled up alive. While the Malai chicken kebabs are getting air fried, let's continue with the story. A special cell was constructed in the wall of the bazaar, about 2 by 2 by 6 feet. Chains were attached to one wall to ensure he would be kept standing. Mesfevi wasn't told of his fate until the morning of his execution, when he was led screaming in chains and slowly bricked up inside. Once the last course had been laid, the crowd would fall silent until he started screaming, when they would cheer. He nearly constantly screamed for 2 days, but finally, on the 3rd day, he fell silent. And as our stories come to an end, so does our dish. The chicken Malai kebab has come out absolutely delicious, even though it is air fried. So, it's healthy and delicious at the same time. Also, guys, thank you for staying until the end of this episode. And if you'd like your stories featured on this channel, send it to taleswhilecooking@gmail.com. Until next time, keep the pot simmering and the tales lingering.